Ventura, California this week. So sorry if the lighting is a little bit off. Let me see if I can turn on a light here and give me a little bit more lighting. We're going to hop right into a oh, I know some people are saying it's still nothing. Sorry, I was trying to type and answer a question. So hit refresh and hit refresh on the page. And if you can't see me, just let me know in the comments. And I'm going to hit refresh again. So we'll wait till get everybody on here. It looks like we have lots of people on here already. That's awesome. Welcome. So we are diving into one of my favorite topics. And the reason why I say it's one of my favorite topics is because there is so much potential out there when we talk about diverse income streams and what you want to build into your business. Okay, so I just want to, okay, everyone say it's working. Good, good. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. So we're going to start talking about, I'm going to dive right into this presentation. This time I'm going to remember to share my presentation. If you haven't been on my webinars before, I don't really talk about myself. If you want to read it, oh no, wait, it's this way. If you want to read about me, click the About Me later on. Go see why I know how to do all this stuff that I'm sharing with you. Or, you know, you can always join the coterie and you can even get to know me even more because who wouldn't want that? So I'm going to dive right in. My webinars are 100% pitch free, and I like to get right into the information. Oh, and I sometimes sing, so be prepared if you haven't been on one of my webinars before. All right, so everybody should be seeing this lovely presentation. Maybe just Nancy, you seem to be my IT person today. Nancy, can you see my presentation, or are you still seeing my lovely face? We'll see how it goes here. Last time I did this, okay, good. Nancy's just seeing it. I love Nancy. Okay, so we're gonna go into diverse income streams. What, when, why, and how. So when we walk away from today, what I really want to make sure is that you have some ideas that you can start implementing in your business and you kind of know how to do it. Now, I'm not gonna be able to fit everything into 60 minutes, my goodness. But we're going to start, and like I said, I want you to walk away with some ideas and some pretty good starting points on how to put it into your business. So what are diverse income streams? Now, I would say the typical ones that most people would know, when we look at like the billionaires, the millionaires of the world, the Richard Bransons, the Oprahs, they've got a lot of income coming in from different revenues. And that's good because that's how, you know, when there's recessions happening or, you know, prices go down or dollars change, you really don't need to depend on one income stream. Okay, so real estate, and when I say investments, I mean like whether you've got stocks or you're doing angel investing into other companies, or you have antiques or collectibles, art. Those kind of things are investments, and they're kind of a long-term goal. Same with real estate. I mean, unless you're doing flipping, where you buy a property, quickly renovate it, and then sell it again. These are more the long-term goals of diverse income, but they still bring it in. And especially if you're in real estate and you're doing rental properties, well, then you're still going to get income coming in every month. But if you live like where I live, where all of a sudden we've had a bit of a recession because the global oil prices have gone down. You know, I have friends who have rental properties here and they're having a hard time renting to people because there's just people have left. People have gone to another province or, elsewhere to work. And so there isn't people who are renting like there were a couple of years ago. So these are up and down kind of things. But they are traditional. Then we start to look in like multiple businesses. So we think about the Richard Bransons of the world, even the Oprah, the Martha Stewart, like the big people who they've got magazines, they've got television networks. They have, I think Richard Branson has started over like 250 or 350 businesses, and he's not running all those businesses now. He's got a really great, strong leadership team in there. And that's something to keep in mind as you start building things is, do you have time for all of this? But these are the traditional diverse income streams that we typically look at. But then we look at what we can do. So things like online courses. So think about things that you do. Now, I was talking to a client last night, and one of the things I said was, is there something that people come to you all the time and ask you questions about or get you to do for them that you really don't want to do? and these things like writing resume, and her example is writing resumes. And so, I mean, that's the thing is like, that's a skill that everybody needs. Now, there are tons of resources online and free resources for how to write a resume, but they're like, I'm sorry, they're crappy. I've looked at them. And it's funny because I used to write resumes for income when I was in high school and high school and college. But I've always tried to say like, okay, what's the best, way to do a resume? And there just really is not a lot of really great knowledge out there. And if it's something that people are coming to all the time and you're getting tired of saying like, just Google it, or getting tired of, doing it for them, then create a course about it. And this goes for anything. I get people who ask me all the time, like they want just like some marketing advice, but they won't pay my hourly rate to ask me questions. They just want this free information all the time. Well, honestly, now I send them to my marketing 101 class. Here you go. You can actually just purchase this. It's less than, paying for me directly, but you get this wonderful course that's really going to walk you through figuring out, what kind of marketing is best for your business. And it's revenue, right? And, they go and buy it because it's that price that they can afford, and that it's what I say to them. Like a lot of people say, well, why would someone pay for a course that they can get free online? Well, a lot of this information and the information I put in my course is stuff that I've learned over the past 14 years doing marketing. But the other thing too is that when I talk to people about that, it's like, well, how much is their time worth? How much is their time Googling answers when they can just buy one course and get it all included? So think about that. What do you know that you can give to people? And sometimes it's not in your direct business or your primary business. So for example, I love mixed media and image transfers, and I love vision boards. I love the thought of, I was just reading Nancy's comment, how she hates writing resumes, and she was a career counselor in her previous life and hates doing them. Exactly. Everybody hates doing them, Nancy. So then we create, create a course you don't have to ever do it again for other people, or have people ask you. I have a vision board course, and so it's got mixed media, and it's got, a lot about goals and objectives and getting really firm on what you want, and how to actually account for it when it happens, and all this kind of stuff. So, I created this course. It doesn't really necessarily go with my business coaching or my pop-ups. It's just something that I do and I love to do. So I created a course for it. So think about things that you do know how to do that other people are looking for. Okay. And then that can be translated into an online course, and that can be an income. And we'll get more into courses a little later. Okay, stock photography. There's so many stock photography sites out there right now, and whether you put your photos on another site that's popular, or you build your own stock photography, that can be income coming in. Templates. Oh my goodness. If one of my clients is on here, I don't know, but she's going to know that I keep telling people don't want to have to create templates for themselves. Like they literally look, like if you look for like things that are like most Googled, it's like templates or guides or outlines. Like people want to know how, just want to do it. When we look at sites like Creative Market or any of the Envato sites, Graphics River, like why would you create a whole new annual report? Think what the hours it takes when you can download a template and then just put in your own customization, whether you change colors or content. These templates that, this is what a fracking good idea. Yeah, fracking. It is a fracking good idea. Like think about things that you do that you have built for yourself and you take for granted. Okay, so even if it's just a way to organize your emails, or maybe it's how you do your finances and you create it in an Excel sheet. Maybe it's like you're really good at graphics, or you're a designer, and maybe you start creating stationery sets for entrepreneurs who want to do for example, like this outline around my PowerPoint. Okay, so that pink and the watercolor and my like that's a template, right? So it's something I created for myself, but it's passed along to a lot of my written content, so that I have this consistent look. Well, that's a template. I set it up for myself, but honestly, I did a lot of searching ahead of time to find a template that someone else already did for me that I could just customize to because I don't got time. And I didn't really want to hire someone at the time when I was first starting my business, but I couldn't really find one that I like. So that's something that's available for you. And Veronica is on, so she knows templates. Yeah. So Veronica is like an incredible systems person. So she will figure out all of the A to B to C to D for you. And then she puts it into these amazing Google Doc templates that, are great for all kinds of entrepreneurs. So if anybody wants that, Veronica's on the chat right now. Yeah, for those who are hopeless at this, would have loved access to something like this. Yeah, Shannon, like it's like, that's the thing is, or not even hopeless, but just don't have time for this. Like you're doing other things.
as entrepreneurs, we're freaking busy. Like, we don't have time to be creating stuff. If someone else is in their zone of genius in Excel or creating these templates, let them, and then pay them well so that they keep making them for you, and so that you can focus on other things that are in your zone of genius. YouTube. Okay, YouTube is amazing. If you can build your YouTube channel to have this like great traffic, that's advertising that can come in. I was looking the other day at some like the top 7 income earners on YouTube, and these are like, this is like not like a couple dollars. These are like 4 million, 7 million. Now I know that it comes with a lot of other things, like they do appearances and whatnot, but when you think about YouTube revenue and ads, you know, go be your amazing self. I know someone who, he has a video game channel, and people just watch him do video game sequences, and he gets money from that advertising. Nancy, how do you make money on YouTube? So what you want to do is in YouTube, you create your own channel and then you monetize your videos. And there's a couple different monetize settings, and we can kind of get into that later. But basically, it's you allow advertising to play before or after or during. Like, they might have a pop-up ad that might come up through the course or through the video, and then people click on it and you would get paid. There's also sponsorship opportunities. So companies, when your YouTube channel gets big, sponsorship companies want you to, like, you know, drink from the Coke can. It's very similar to how, you know, TV works for advertising, but it's in YouTube. So hopefully that helps, Nancy. If you need any help, just let me know. I can show you some other things. But basically, you're driving traffic to your YouTube channel, and YouTube rewards you. Okay. Residuals. So if you're writing books, if you're creating music, this is also kind of ties into the photography. So it's things that like you have ongoing sales for, that you would get a portion of, or you would get all of. And when we think about kind of the on-demand fulfillment that's available now, where you can create your own t-shirt shop and books and mugs, and you have sites that are willing, that, I mean, you get a smaller cut for it because, you know, the company is taking most of the materials and the shipping, but it means that you don't have to do it. So look into things like that where you are not necessarily creating, you know, you're not doing the heat sublimation press on the mug for every mug that you're sending out, but you're allowing someone else to do that. Well, those are residuals. Okay, so you created it once and you're getting paid for it every time someone purchases it. Affiliates. So affiliate marketing, this is where someone pays. So you talk about a product, and if someone clicks through your link or buys with your code, you get a portion of that sale. So give you some examples of affiliates that I have. If you go on my website, I think it's under tools I use. I think it's under About Me, tools I use. So I use a product called Simplero to handle all of my emails, my content management, my online workshops, my space, everything. Basically, they handle anything that you touch. If you come through with me, whether you pay me or you, you know, sign up for my emails, you're getting something from Simplero. If people sign up under my affiliate link, then I get a portion of those sales, and that's money in my bank. Same thing, I have affiliates that I pay people, so they talk about my products and they get money for it, for referring people. So affiliate marketing is a really great way. There's lots of products out there. Amazon.com, you can set up a bookstore on your website, or if you're ever referencing books in any of your products, you know, or I mean, there's other things, but mostly books through Amazon.com, depending on where you live. If people buy those products using those links, Amazon pays you. Okay. There's lots of services that you might use that have affiliate attached to it. So if you're just referring people to use the service, and generally I tell people like these are affiliate links, so it's just so that they know that they're not only that I'm getting money from them signing up, but that they are supporting me, so that I can keep recommending stuff. Shannon says in the biz, I think it's called placement. I don't know what biz, or are you talking about YouTube? I'm not sure, Shannon. Are you talking about YouTube with the placement of the product, or are you talking about the affiliates? I'm not sure. Okay, expand on that if you have some more in there. Okay, so my presentation is stalled, so let me get in here. Okay, so your business. So what can these look like in your business? And there's a few other ideas I have, and I have some case studies that people submitted to me, so we're going to go through a few of those. But what does that look like for you? So take a moment here and kind of think like, okay, what do I know? Do I have information that I can put in online courses? Oh, one of the ones I didn't talk about was Etsy. So Etsy has this service where like you can download PDFs. So it started off with patterns. People would put patterns up there. What happened was like you would buy the pattern and then the person would have to email it to you, and that was crappy. So Etsy created an instant download option, which is very much like Creative Market or Envato, where you have this instant download. But Etsy has like an amazing one. One of the ones I just looked up for another client was, search engine optimization. Okay, so there's search engine optimization for Etsy listings. If you know how to do that, create a PDF and put it up there and allow people to buy. Oh yes, Shannon. Yes, product placements. Yes, that does make sense. It's product placements. Yeah, absolutely. But a lot of them are just ads that run. If you ever have seen a YouTube ad and have, before you got to your video, it says you must wait 3 to 4 seconds before you can watch your video. Somebody's getting paid for that. Yeah, so Etsy has this thing where you can put up these PDFs, and there's everything now from guides to patterns. So it's something that you created once. Etsy's doing that fulfillment for you. So you don't have to worry about setting up the process. You literally upload that product, create the Etsy listing for it, and people are finding it using the Etsy shop. Okay. What does your audience need? And this is where we're going to start talking about. So sometimes you're creating income streams that have nothing, like they're not related to your primary. So for example, Shannon, she's contributing down here in the comments. So she's a jewelry maker and a stunning jewelry designer. But she also has some incredible talents in event planning and event organizing. She might want to maybe take a look at how she takes all of that knowledge of working in an event, opportunity for years and create products and courses and guides that actually relates to events. Or she might absolutely hate it and not want to ever do it again. But these are things where she's taking stuff that she might not be working, and she creates a completely different income stream that she could be creating income for herself. I don't want people to really shred their brand, especially if they are their brand, but there's opportunities to create, multiple income streams. But is this what your current audience needs? I mean, this is the thing, is like the easiest way to set up a diverse income stream, or a passive income stream as we call it. So diverse income streams are all the ways that money come into you. Passive income is where you really create something once and then you sell it multiple times. Okay. And when I say passive, you really want to start setting up systems that do it for you. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But, what does your audience need? And if you need to create a new audience, is that going to be more time? That's something like, are you branching out to a new audience? Are you building arenas for, multiple income streams to come in? Well, that takes time. You're not just, sending out a product to your current list and saying, here, I've heard you, here's an online course for you. If you're creating something else, then you do have to factor that in. So how much time do you have? Okay. Passive income has this like amazing draw because you're like, oh, I created it once and then I just sell it over and over again. But the fact is that it does actually take a lot of time to set it up. You have to create the product. You have to, test it out, make sure it's got everything in there, sell it a few times, get some testimonials, get some social proof, create a landing page for it, create the service that does the fulfillment for it, and then do the marketing for it. So there is time in that. And we'll get into that a little bit, but do you have time for this? But what are the rewards for it too? Keep that in mind. So what systems do you need? You could set up a passive income. You could go to Etsy, who handles all the fulfillment for you, and, just create that product and leave it there. Okay. Or you could still do that. And then you could drive ads to it, so then you're looking at Facebook or Google ads, okay, or YouTube ads, driving people to that product that they need. Usually email is part of it. We talked about last week in the email marketing 101s, and if you missed them, they are in the coterie, the creative coterie. We talked about setting up these sales funnels and using products to lead to the next product that you have that might be a little bit higher price point. When we talk about affiliates, okay, you do not want to run an affiliate program for your own products unless you have something that handles it for you. Okay, so we're talking about Simplero, Infusionsoft, Ontraport. There's a few other, if you have online courses, I think Thinkific is an online course, so Thinkific. It's like an online course platform. They have affiliate links put into it. because what's going to happen is you're going to give these affiliate links or coupon codes to people, and then they're going to say, well, so-and-so paid for this, but I didn't get credit for it. Like, you really want a system to handle this all for you before you dive into it. If you're just using affiliate links, then of course, all you need is to copy a link and place it on a website, or when you refer people, your coupon code, but you don't have to, create a separate system for that. But if you're thinking about having an affiliate link for your products, make sure you have a system that does that for you. So yeah, email, landing pages. So landing pages are single use websites that do not have navigation elsewhere. They typically want to just drive people to one purpose, whether that is to, sign up, that we call those squeeze pages, or to buy a product, we call those sales pages. You have to set those up. So, if you don't have a website that allows you to do that, then you're looking at lead pages or Instapage, or something that allows you to create these standalone systems. Now, if you don't have a website, if you're on this webinar right now and you're like, Marisa, I don't even have a website. Like, what are you even talking about? You could literally buy a monthly thing to lead pages or Instapages and set up these landing pages and put ads to them and go, and you don't ever need another website. So that's something that's available for people as well, to get these things set up and going. It might even be just a PayPal link on a website that, you drive people to PayPal to pay for it. PayPal has an automated, there's an ability to, for PayPal to direct, after they successfully pay for the product, then they are directed to a specific thank you page that might have that product there where they can download it. Okay. But you want to make sure that that page is protected so that they don't just send out that link to all of their friends and then everybody gets this product for one low price. Drink some water here. All right, so let's go through some case studies. I got some really cool emails, and I'd like to get to them all. We'll see. I might go to them after the webinar. We'll see where we're at for time. I also want to make sure that if anybody who's on the webinar right now has questions, we can do that. Before I go in here, So Nancy says, I can write killer resumes, but would hate that people come to me for resume advice. Any thoughts? So yeah, so create that resume course. Okay, so think about the process that you go through, Nancy, into creating a killer resume. And this is really interesting because you can actually pull in your personality abilities in here too, your personality, like the personality test stuff in here, which could lead in a sales funnel to more sales going down the line for your other courses. But think about that you like what goes into making a killer resume. And this is something that, like we want to talk about personality, and we want to talk about influence, and we want to talk about, properly showcasing our skills and our qualifications, but not maybe, where we are working or where, because like when I give an example a lot, I used to work for a collection agency back in the 90s, right after I got out of high school. And we were in another recession again where I lived, and I had a lot of people who worked in the oil industry, and they had a hard time. Now, they had great transferable skills, but they had a hard time because people would look and say, oh, you work for the oil rigs. As soon as the business goes back up, you're going to leave and go back to work there. So I don't want to hire you now, which wasn't the case. These men just really wanted to, be able to work, wherever, and have a job that they didn't have to worry about, it ending anytime soon. So what we did was we looked at their skills and created a skills resume as opposed to a location or a company-based resume. And then they got hired and they got to pay their bills, and, I look like a hero. But so think about things that goes into that, that people don't know, that people don't know that there's options for killing a resume or doing a killer resume, or for, doing a really great cover letter that's going to get their resume to the top of the stack. Okay. So that's that guide, and maybe it's a fillable field where people can start filling in, and then they've got their resume and then they can copy and paste. Maybe it's examples of really great resumes that they can't find online. And that's something that is, maybe you could do that. Or we can workshop that out too in the Coterie. Nancy's in my Creative Coterie, my membership group. So we can workshop that out further too. If that's something you're interested in, you could set up, all you had to do is have some really great search engine optimization on those pages, the keywords that people are Googling in to find really great resume stuff, and put a nice low price on that's accessible for everybody, and bam, you could be making money. Oh, Shannon says, does collaborations fall into this category? Oh, is anyone else's head spinning? Sorry. Sometimes with these, I kind of tend to talk fast. So if I'm talking really fast, or you just need me to back up and expand on things further, stop me at any time. Okay, so does collaborations fall into this category? Oh, and I think I went back to Nancy, so I kind of remember. What was I talking about before with collaborations? Oh, what systems do you need? So do you mean like collaborations with other people, Shannon? Like if you would join up with other people and create a separate product? Just maybe let me know and I'll come back to that. All right, let's dive into my first case study. So marketing, writers, media relations, or other typically one-to-one service models. Okay, and I put this kind of lumped in, and I got about 5 or 6 people who had sent me emails about this. And I put them all together, so I'm going to apologize, but I'm going to try and do some general ideas that you all can take away. All right, so basically we want to start serving the masses rather than the one. Okay, but our challenge is how to make them still feel personalized. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, you can create something. And this webinar is a really good example. I'm trying to help a large amount of people with a generic topic, okay? So, but how do we still make it personalized? How do we talk directly to, you know, the people who might be taking this? You might create a product that's good for entrepreneurs, but what kind of entrepreneurs? You have the options to make it very specific to a particular kind of entrepreneur in a particular type of niche, or you can make it general. But when you make it general, you still want to make it feel personalized. And the reason why I say that is because you want them to keep coming back and buying more of your products, or you want to make them feel so good that they're going to refer you to others. Okay, so this is where we're starting to build our brand and our marketing in our products. We don't just want to put something out there that, you know, people kind of leave and go, that was useless. Why did I even do that, right? So we want to look at how we create these products. Now, one of my clients has created a product that is completely transferable to a wide range of entrepreneurs. But a challenge is that when someone lands on a landing page, they really want to be talked to directly. So sometimes I have landing pages that are like specifically for artists or designers. And I'm going to say, like, if you're an artist or a designer, here are the things you can expect that artists and designers are looking for. Sometimes I have products, though, that are really great. I mean, they might be the exact same product for the designer or artist, but they're also really great for entrepreneurs who are coaches and healers. Well, then I'm going to create a landing page that talks specifically about that. But you don't necessarily want to create 2 different courses for them. Okay, you're just creating 2 different landing pages that still direct to the same sales funnel for this course. But then once they get to the course, you still have to kind of include them. So that's where you can include language like, you know, for entrepreneurs such as artists, designers, healers, and coaches once they get in. But you're going to be creating 2 separate landing pages that talk to them personally so they know that this product is for them. Then when I talked about this before, are they part of a bigger sales funnel? So, you know, when you have a one-to-one service model, typically what you do is you price the one-to-one at a much higher rate. And that's because it's your time. It's your, you know, it's you actually creating customized, specific answers or solutions to their problem. So you're going to charge a much higher price. Now, not everybody, you know, and I don't want to say not everybody has the money to commit, because that's not really the case. We all can go out and make money if we want something. But what it is that they might not be willing to really commit with themselves. And I say this as I know when I first started out in the online space, I kind of wanted to test out some things and see if it was for me. So instead of working with a person directly, I would take some of their courses. I would take some of their, you know, online guides and courses that I could kind of get a feel of how they do. How do they teach? What are their ideas? Do they have something new? Is there something I can learn from them? And then what I might do is kind of drop myself into their bigger sales funnel where I see what else they have to offer. And then eventually I might actually, you know, pay the big money to work with them one-on-one because I've seen how they work as a part to the masses. Okay. You know, and so think about that as you're creating stuff. Now you might just be creating courses that you never, for people that you don't want to work with. This is something that's really great too. So as I was talking about building a resume course, if you don't want to write resumes, might be that you don't want to work with a certain kind of people. And those kind of people are people who, and I'm just gonna be really blunt, but can't make transformation happen for themselves. Now, I'm a coach, so people might say, well, if people can make transformation happen for themselves, why would they need a coach? Well, the thing is that we rarely can do things on our own by ourselves, okay? There's a lot of voices that happen that will hold us back because of fear of success and other fears that, or other stories that people have told us. So sometimes we need that coach to have that support. But when I talk about people who can make that transformation happen for themselves, is that they don't, there's certain qualities that we want to work with one-on-one with them. There's other people who are kind of in different stages of their journey where they just think like maybe this isn't going to happen for them. So they'll take these courses to kind of keep moving forward on their journey at their current rate. Okay, we wouldn't want to work with them one-on-one right now, but you know what? This course is going to help them, and it's going to get them a little bit farther ahead. And maybe they're going to go work with someone else, and that's okay too. So does that make sense to everybody? You're creating courses for other people that you want to work with down the line, or you're going to work with, or you're creating courses for people that you don't really want to work with one-to-one. All right. So these are, again, it's skills that we take for granted because we've been doing things for so long. I mean, think about media relations. I mean, you could have a whole course on just how to pitch to the media, or how to pitch to local media versus national media. Public speaking courses. I take public speaking kind of for granted, but there's a lot of people who either they're afraid of it or they've just never done it and they have no idea. So creating those guides or those online courses or even group programs where people get to work with you one-on-one with a bunch of other people. So group programs, or there's a whole bunch of people, you might still have a live component of it, and it's not entirely passive, but it is another diverse income stream that you can build in where you're working on workshop basis. There's lots of people in the room, but they're getting to experience you live. There's also, again, templates, marketing templates, really great, Facebook, how to write Facebook posts, how to write Twitter posts that get in, how to handle Instagram, is Snapchat for you? There's so many courses that marketing and writers can do. How to tell a really great story. I have a friend, her name is Lisa Grakowski, and she is a phenomenal storyteller. And she, works with clients to create amazing stories for their brands. And I mean, that's such a great, she has the ability to work one-on-one, or she can create courses where people start to think about their story. And sometimes, again, this is a lead into a bigger sales funnel. If you like to work with people to pull out their story, then maybe you need them to do a certain course before they work with you. Okay, so maybe it's where they just start to kind of think about what their story even is. So you create a little mini course that you can sell to people to get them starting to think of it, and then they work with you one-on-one. And that helps you do your job better because they've already made a certain amount of progress. Okay? Check if there's any questions. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, all right. Photography. Okay, so I had a photographer send in a note, and she's wondering what can she do to do her diverse income stream. So came up with some ideas. So a membership site. I belong to a website, and it is a stock photography website. So basically, the photographer drops pictures of flat lays or scenery, things that I can include in my social media posts. Okay, or my website, or really anything I want to do. And it's a blanket membership. So I pay per year and I get access to all of these photos. Now, so do other people, right? So there is a thing where I'm sharing photos with other people, but I know it's a smaller amount than, say, using photos off like stock photo or iStock photo or all the other ones out there, Getty Images. So you can create that membership site for yourself where people get access. One of the things that I suggest, though, is if you are doing a photography course, is that you incorporate in your contract that once they end their membership with you, they have to remove all those pictures from their products. And that's only just because you don't want people who download a whole bunch of photos and then take off after a month. Okay. Now you're going to keep adding photos to that site, so there is an advantage, but it's also that they're licensing it. They're licensing those photos for the term of their membership. Okay. Maybe you're creating a course on how to style a brand photo shoot. it's funny. I had someone mention to me recently, like, oh, I love how in your photos on my website, the colors that you wore match your brand. Well, I planned that. It wasn't just an accident that I woke up that day and said, this is what I'm going to wear. I want colors that are complementary to my brand so that everything looks cohesive, but not everybody can do that. Especially when you think about what kind of backdrops you're putting in, or locations, or maybe it's product brand. Okay, so that's the thing, is I've seen a lot of people create products for Etsy, and their products look horrible in the background, okay, because it just doesn't match their brand and their appearance. You really want to start thinking about that cohesive look between the products that you make, the packaging that they're in, the photos that they're in, and then how the process that people do to buy and it's delivered. Okay, you want that all to be cohesive, but we don't have to necessarily think about that ourselves. We can now go to this photographer and get, how do I style a brand photo shoot? How to do your particular niche of photography. So now I know that some people say, well, if I show people how I do what I do, why would they buy my product? Or if I show people how I do what I do, they'll go and make it and then sell it, and I'll lose business. Now, I will challenge anyone who says that, because there are 3 billion people who have internet access in the world, 7 billion people in the world, okay? Now, I know not all those people are your customers, but when we think about that, you cannot serve everybody, but you can sure make money off other people who might have otherwise copied what you do, and might have not did a great job. So you can contribute to people improving their skills and creating businesses for themselves by creating a course on how to do your particular niche of photography. Maybe it's a skill set that you've created, or that you've learned over time, and you want to share it with people. Do workshops, do online courses. Like, these are all available for you. All right. Moving on to the next one. My course lets me. Okay, home organization. Now, it's funny. I've had a few clients now who have created home organization businesses, and I love it. And not necessarily home. It might also be business organization, but these are people who basically help people either downsize or maybe just go through like a craft room, things where you've let things go, okay? Or you just want to have a completely different organization structure because you can never find which black sweater, not that I'm speaking from experience, but I probably own like 27 black sweaters, okay? So all black sweaters tend to look alike after a while, but I'm addicted to them. So I need a good organization structure for what kinds of black sweaters, what are appropriate. Those are things that are available, okay? So when we talk about passive income or diverse income, instead of going into everybody's home and, doing the organization for them, maybe you're creating online courses for organizers and organizees. So this is where, again, you're sharing your skills for home organization for other organizers out in the world. Maybe it's something that they offer as part of their programs. And then, of course, online courses for organizees who just cannot do it themselves. We think about how popular the KonMari method is right now. There's been a huge buzz about it. It's a book that was created. It's not a new method by any means, but a book was created, and it's easy, and there's challenges all over the world where people can join into the KonMari challenge, and they can, organize their closet so that all their t-shirts are folded in a certain way, and they can quickly take a look at it. And this is changing people's lives. So what kind of courses can you create that will create a buzz? Maybe it's writing a book. Maybe it's writing, your experiences. Maybe it is doing a podcast, weekly organization podcast on, what's one thing that you could do. You might interview other people. You might bring them on and help them organize their life. Or you might see how they organize their life, get into their insight. Some of the most popular entrepreneurs see how they're organized so that they can manage all of their multiple businesses. YouTube demos, again, advertising revenue, being able to, put those on there, give them, not only is it going to give you an expanded reach for your business, but it's also going to get revenue. Then I went into a musician. All right, how to play lesson membership site. You know, a lot of parents right now, their kids might be interested in playing the guitar or the drums or the ukulele, but they don't have time to necessarily be driving them around to lessons. Okay, part of a challenge right now is that there are so many split families out there that, you know, organizing, you know, who's going to get what kid, what week to what lesson or what class can be really challenging. But if you have an online how to play lesson membership, then you don't leave your home, and it doesn't matter which home you're at that week. You know, your kids can get their weekly lesson, or, you know, be able to go in there and pick from a bunch of lessons. Maybe you put in a new lesson a month. Okay. Stock music, okay, so you can create music for people to use in their webinars or their podcasts or their videos. They can either, you know, pay a one-time license for it, or maybe it's a monthly, like the photography site. You might create customized music for people where they actually hire you to create their theme song or their jingle. Oh, and I'm going to jump into how to do it. One of the things too is creating. One thing I didn't talk about, especially with the marketing and the writers or the coaches or the healers of the world, is creating something, what we call like a licensed product. So I don't know if anyone knows Danielle Laporte, but she has her Desire Map workshop. And what she did was, I think 2 years ago or last year, I can't remember now, she actually licensed people to become Desire Map facilitators. So that means that people will pay her to take this course to basically learn how to be a Desire Map facilitator. And then they pay a yearly licensing fee to continue to hold these workshops or teach it or provide it as bonuses for their own business. That's genius. Okay, so not only do people pay, I don't know, like a couple $1,000s to become Desire Map facilitators, but then they pay a yearly fee to her to keep going, to keep using it, to keep using her brand. You know, that's something that's available for you too. Okay, I'm gonna check questions here. So Nancy says, podcast seems so scary to me. I see some of them and all the gear they need, and I'm not sure it's doable. Oh, well, sure, yeah, okay. But you can have a really good mic and use Zoom. You can use Skype. You can do it over the phone. I mean, the serious podcasters, they want to have clear audio. They want to make sure that, you know, people can hear them and that they want to listen in. Nobody wants to hear to a scratchy podcast, but there's some really great how-tos out there on how to set it up. I also have a friend, her name is Karen Unland, and she runs a site called Seen and Heard, and she has some really great podcast resources, so I can connect everybody to that too. She's doing a great job doing that. All right, so that's good. Nancy, this was a really great lead into how to do it. So again, we want to look at, is this for your current audience or a new audience? So if you are creating your current audience, well then, you know, part of it is going to be just warming up your new audience to to look at this product. If it's your current audience, sorry. If it's a new audience, well, then we got to look at marketing. We got to look at what people are looking for. We got to look at, you know, how do they need it delivered? It's a little bit more work setting up for a new audience, but sometimes you'll know it best because it's something you've been doing for years and have taken it for granted. So think about all of the things that you know when you delivered that service or that product to people before. Okay, and I know it can be overwhelming, but trust that you have all the answers. Okay, so do you have the right systems? I mean, the thing with passive income especially is that you really want to think about systems that do it for you. So I mentioned Etsy. Honestly, once you update the Etsy listing and then upload the PDF document, that's instant fulfillment. And you're not really handling, you just are getting the payment after. Etsy's going to forward you that payment. Oh yeah, Veronica says, Nancy, I've guest recorded a podcast with my iPhone headphones only and the quality was great. I have a Yeti microphone too, but what you need is already on the web, like Audacity for free. Yeah, Audacity is a really great resource. I use it too. It's good, and it's I actually have the paid version because I like to make my audios really clear if I'm going to be putting them out for videos and courses. But yeah, the free version is amazing, and you can take out those like weird shh noises that kind of happen if you have like an air conditioner, or if your dog all of a sudden barks, you can actually take those sounds out of your audio, which is pretty awesome. So Audacity, that's a great resource. You have the right systems. do you have a really great microphone? Do you have a really great video camera? I mean, right now I'm kind of in this like really weird low lighting, room. So when you saw my face, it might've been a little bit grainy. So probably not the great thing. So I want to make sure that I have proper lights. One of the best, easiest lights that you can get for really great videos where your face is presented is called the Diva light, or a ring light. Okay. And it's just a ring, it's a ring of light. And you put that around your camera goes in the middle, and it just gives you this really nice kind of even glow around your face. I mean, just something like that. It doesn't have to be crazy. If you look at the website Wistia, WISTIA, they are like they're like a Vimeo or a YouTube. They're a video hosting, but they have incredible tutorials on how to do home lighting, home camera studios. They recommend recording with an iPhone as an external microphone so that you have really great audio for your videos. So things like that don't actually cost you a lot of money. Actually, I think Wistia has one that's like how to do a home lighting for a home video studio for under $100. And I did it. It was going to Home Depot and getting some light bulbs and, going on Amazon and getting some really great lighting tripods and booms. Okay. So it doesn't have to cost a lot. There's a lot of resources out there that you don't have to pay for that are available. So make sure that you have the right system. Oh, and the other thing is like for the payment. So, with never mind product, thank you. Do you advise on audio only or video as well? For your products, audio only or video as well. Like if you're doing like an online course, that's really going to depend on your audience. One thing that I really don't always want to listen to a replay for a video audio. So transcription is really important to me. So typically, it's interesting because I use Simplero. So once I upload a video or audio, the members of the coterie can actually go download it as a podcast. So if they really want to watch it, they can watch the video in Simplero. If they want to listen to it in a podcast, they have that ability. And then I'm also transcribing each of those videos and audios. So if somebody just wants to be like, I know Marisa said this really great thing, I'm not going to make them go through all of the video to find that one thing. The transcription, they can use Control F and find it right in the document. So it's being able to, when you're thinking about online courses, it's like, what does your audience really need? And yeah, Veronica said, if you do video, you can always pull out the audio and repackage into MP3. I've done that too. I use a product called Camtasia, Camtasia. It's really affordable for Mac. It's a little bit more expensive for PC, which kind of makes me laugh, but it's really great because you can edit your audio. You can put intros and outros, and you can subtract the audio from it. So sometimes I will, do a video of me, and then I just do a remove the audio and save it as separate. So it's there. So Camtasia is really good for that. What else? So what other systems? Oh yeah, so the fulfillment. So how are people paying you? Okay, how do people give you money for this product? And then how do they get that product? You want to make it automated. Last week when we talked to one of the greatest things is drip content. So once they pay you each week in a course, they make that automated. You don't want to be sending out emails to people every time they buy your product, because again, we're working with the masses. So this is like hundreds of thousands of people buying your product. Is this automated by ads or SEO? So search engine optimization, which yes, you want it to be. You can have it on your website. If you've got enough traffic going to your website, people might find it that way. And I do recommend linking to it in blog posts. If you've got a course that's related, absolutely link to it in your blog posts. But think about search engine optimization first. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that whatever people are Googling at 2 a.m., that is the keywords that are on the headlines. We're going to talk about search engine optimization in the next few weeks. We're going to talk about search engine optimization actually next week with content marketing. I've got a series of 4 webinars next week for that too. But we're going to want to make sure that we're driving people to this organically, so that we're not just paying for it. And there is still a lot of Google searches happening out there as well. We want to start looking on how we use YouTube to drive it to our products as well. Okay. does it need its own brand? Okay, so this is interesting. So whether you're operating under, like marisalowen.com or, Veronica's on the call, so we'll use her for example. So she's got her Veronica brand, but then she has products that she's creating, like Spark That Shit, and I think she has Unfuck Your Brand. If anybody's offended by language, sorry, but those are her brands. And so she has kind of separate brands and products that she's coming out with, and that's okay too, because there might be a time where she sells those brands to someone else. So when we talk about, your brand, you as a brand, there's you, and then you might be creating these products that have their own brand. And it might be just, like I have things like Marisa Lowen's, Vision Board Masterclass. So I still attach my brand to it, but at some point in the future, I might let that brand go and somebody else runs it. Does that make sense? Check your hosting availability. Okay, this is probably one of the biggest things first to do if you're going to have online courses, and that you want people to drive to. So a good example, I had that email marketing webinar last week and I totally crashed my host. The whole website crashed. I had so much traffic coming that it was unexpected and I had delays with the webinar. So, I ended up making sure that it could hold all of my online courses. It could hold any of my products. It could hold my pages. I'm now on my own server. So check that. If you're not hosting it, make sure that the sites that you're using. So for example, I put all of my online courses in Simplero, but if you're using like Thinkific, you want to make sure there's not a cap on it for like a video size or, traffic size or how many people can sign up. Some of these projects like Thinkific and Kajabi, they have a cap on how many people can buy your product. Well, okay, well, I get their point. You want to pay a certain amount of fee for a certain amount of people, but you want to make sure that you're not hitting that cap and losing out on customers, or that you have to pay more, to have more customers come to you. All right, CMS systems, so customer management systems. This is the Simpleros, the Infusionsoft, the Entreports of the world. You want to make sure that you have that ability to, again, automate things, put things into sales funnels, put people into sales funnels, create new products and have them delivered easily. Affiliate systems. You want to make sure that you have that capability to set up that system if it's available for you. I know that sometimes the cost can be prohibitive when you're first starting out, but think about long-term. You want to make sure that you're growing into a system, so you're creating the products and having your email set up so that you can easily port it into a customer management system when it gets too big for you to handle manually. Automation, I can't say this enough. If anyone knows me, they know I love to automate everything, set up responder emails, set up, things that you don't have to think about it. It's just going to operate manually for you. The fulfillment system, if you don't have time to do to put mug and ship it out, package it and ship it out, then get a fulfillment site. Go to the Redbubbles, the Society Sixes of the world, the Cafe Press, which was like the original fulfillment, t-shirt fulfillment company. You look at them and see how you can use those in your business. The nice thing about things like Shopify and like you can actually drop those online shops with them. How do I explain this? So you can actually drop a shop onto your website, but it's actually fulfilled by a third-party company. Okay, it looks pretty seamless. It looks like you created a shopping cart, but it's actually been being fulfilled by someone else. Okay. And then I'm going to talk a little about affiliate marketing again. So we talked about, and this always reminds me, like, if you've ever seen Jesus Christ Superstar, what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Okay, that's affiliate marketing. Whether someone's talking about your brand or you're talking about someone else's brand, you're creating a buzz. Okay, so if you are handling affiliate marketing for your products, you want to make sure that there's an ease and automation for payouts so that you're paying people on time and it's easy for you. And the administration of it. Now, one of the biggest challenges with affiliate marketing is that people will say, well, so-and-so bought a product through my link, but actually, the last link they clicked was somebody else's link. Okay, you want to make sure that it's trackable and it's easy. If you're doing the affiliate marketing, so if you're marketing on other people's behalf, make sure that you're always using their links. You tell people that it is an affiliate link, but that you do share it and you do put it. Now, here's one thing though I will caution. When you promote other people's brands a lot, you weaken your brand. Okay. So, and part of that, even if they're not in the same industry with you, is that people will be like, oh, this person's just always pushing what other people are doing. What are they doing? Okay. And Google actually will penalize you if you have a lot of pages on your website with affiliate links. Okay. I can't remember what the actual term is now, but basically it's like light. I think it's called a light content ban, which means that your website won't even show up in Google. So if you get this, and it's really hard to reverse, you actually have to get like a third party person to speak on your behalf. Anyways, it's a huge process. So be careful with this. You want to use this sparingly, but you also want to be genuine. You also don't want to be sending out a ton of, links to other people in your email list, because your audience will get tired of, hearing about everybody else when they really signed up to be hearing from you. Okay. I'm just going to check for questions here. What time are we at here? Okay, good. We're at about an hour. So I was able to kind of get through. I'm proud of myself. I'm going to put it out to questions. So if anybody on right now wants me to brainstorm about possible ways, if I know their business, or if they want to give me a little background on their business, I'd love to be able to brainstorm about what kind of diverse income streams you could possibly create in your business. Just refresh the chat here. Veronica's like, oh, saying spark that shit. Yeah, spark that shit. Doesn't that make you just want to go and do stuff? It makes me want to go to stuff. Veronica, I'm gonna say sometimes that's my motivator now. I'm just like, spark that shit, Marisa. And then yeah, that's Veronica cracking the whip behind me. And I'll come back to my face here. So if anybody wants to see, everyone gets to see all my, all right, hello. So this is what I'm saying. I'm kind of in a grainy, hotel room, and it's not going to be the best quality. So make sure that you do have, proper lighting when you are creating these into courses. Shannon says, so the affiliate would be working with fashion bloggers. Oh, yes. So good. Okay. So so there's bloggers and there's also Instagrammers, okay? And that right now, I would say, or even the Snapchatters, I would say the Instagram and the Snapchatters are actually kind of pulling ahead of the blogging community in the sponsorship opportunities, okay? So a lot of jewelry and designers are, collaborating with Instagrammers to basically push their product out to their customers. Okay. And so there's a couple ways that you could set that up. One is kind of like and it's going to be kind of up to the Instagrammer who will set their terms, but you can always propose things. So one of the ways is that you kind of give them like a lump sum. So some Instagrammers or Snapchatters will have I will talk about your product for a day. I'll model it. I'll show it on some different things. And it will cost you $500, $5,000, $10,000, whatever, depending on their audience size or their engagement for their audience. That's a blanket sum. Now, what you can do is you could create affiliate links for them. If you have a system that manages affiliate links for you, and they would put that out, and it'll be like you could also use coupon codes in PayPal. If you're just using PayPal, give them a coupon code that they can enter in and that you can track the usage of. So each person would have their own separate trackable coupon code. So, they could say I'm wearing, earrings, and, they're by this particular artist. And if you want to have them as well on your earrings, here's the link, here's the code, put it in, and then you would then compensate them for how many people use that code. Now, I love that model a lot better, because then you are encouraging them to work harder. You're only paying for the pieces that you have sold. So you're kind of keeping your costs that way. But again, it's going to be up to the Instagram or Snapchatter. Nancy says, is there so much I want to try? Courses, templates, YouTube, residuals, Etsy, podcast. Where do I start? Ooh, start with one thing. Start with the quickest thing that you can do, Nancy, so that you can
practice the whole process, the whole fulfillment process. So the whole kind of like, here's my product, here's how you pay for it, here's how you get it, here's the aftercare, okay? Do one small thing. And whether you have, 2 people sign up or you have 200 or 2,000 people sign up, you just want to perfect that. And once you, and kind of figure out, where people dropped off and figure out, what people didn't resonate with, then you're going to perfect that process again and try it with a bigger product and move up and move up. Okay, so start with something that doesn't make you feel panicky. That's how I create products. I'm like, am I scared out of my mind to do this? Maybe I won't do that one. Is it something that I just feel really natural about doing? Yeah, let's do this one. And then I perfect that process before I move on to others. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Oh, so Nancy says templates it is. Yeah, templates. I mean, templates are so easy. Put them on Etsy, put them on Creative Market, the Graphics River. There's hundreds of them, 99 designs. There's so many on your own website. Put them out there first. Put them on all of them, by the way. They don't have to be exclusive to those sites. Put them everywhere. There's actually a woman, her name is 365 Designs. So she started out doing planners and templates and selling them on Creative Market, and I think on her own website. She's now got a licensing agreement with Michaels across North America, so you can actually buy her pre-printed stuff and you can still go onto Creative Market and print it off. I think they're anywhere between $5 to $25 per printed template, but now you can go into Michaels and buy it. So she's reaching a whole different audience. It's a whole different diverse income stream where you're creating products and someone else is building them and printing them for you or creating them for you. That's a whole different diverse income stream that we didn't even get into today. But start really easy with that. Put them up on the Creative Market, get them out there, and that's you're using their own traffic and their own search engine just to pump it. And then you can promote it using your social media, using your email to say, hey, I now have this up on Creative Market. You can go get it. Yeah, great. Any other questions? Thanks to everybody who stuck around. I think I know everybody who actually came on today. So, this was like a quick webinar. Kind of wanted to put it together while I'm in sunny Ventura. I'm at Craftcation. I'm about to get my craft on. I'm really excited about all the creativity that's coming in, but I think don't have any other questions. So hopefully this works. The replay will be up for 24 hours. So if you want to hear again, kind of what I was talking about, I know I went through really quickly. If you're in the Creative Coterie, let's talk about this. Like, put this in the Facebook. Let's workshop it out. Let's bring it to the call next Wednesday. Let's get this going for you so that you have money coming in. I have to say that if you're building a business, if you haven't quite built your business too, creating those passive income streams is actually going to give you that comfort and that cushion as you're doing something that's bigger and scarier, like creating higher priced products. Having that continual income coming in and making sure that you're covered and that you're comfortable with what's coming in is going to help you be more fearless as you're building another business. Okay, that's why people keep day jobs forever, because they're like, oh, I just always have this money coming in. Well, what if you created your own income streams that allowed you to have that money coming in? Okay. So thanks everybody, and thank you for joining me. And again, the replay will be up for 24 hours. After that, it will be in the Creative Coterie. So if you are interested in seeing this and all the other webinars that I'm creating, as well as the group coaching call, go to the Coterie. That's the only pitch I had. Love you all. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you next week for search engine optimization and content management strategies. Watch your email for a upcoming webinar announcement about that, so you can get in on that if that's something that you're interested in your business. Let's make all the money. Bye, guys.